how's it going? I'm Casey Martin from Wine Country Pens and Wine Country Woodworks, and this is going to be a video on me making a holder for my pressure pot. This specific pressure pot I actually got off Craigslist about a couple years ago, and I actually messed up the threading on it roughly a year ago. And so it's kind of been sitting in storage because it wasn't in use, it wasn't able to be used essentially. But basically I was able to kind of rethread the threads that were messed up, and it's holding pressure now as much as I need it. This specific pressure pot is made almost exactly as a Harbor Freight. It's called like a Craftsman Air Drive or something. They don't make it anymore, but it's pretty much exactly the same as a Harbor Freight. So this walkthrough on how I'm gonna make this holder would work just fine for any Harbor Freight and can be modified for any pressure pot that has slightly different dimensions. So I just really quickly wanted to finish what I was saying about it does have a slight leak because the threads weren't perfect, but the PSI, the max PSI on this is 80, and so I fill it up to 70. And after about 3.5 hours, which is as long as I keep my castings in the pot, it goes down to 50. So that's fine with me because my Harbor Freight's 50 is what I fill it up to. And even though those don't leak, if this leaks down to what they start as, it should be fine. So getting into the system that I'm going to make, it's very simple. It's what I did with my other ones. You might be able to just tell by looking at it. But essentially we're going to trace a circle around the bottom of it, and then we're going to use a drill and a jigsaw to cut out a hole for it. And then so that this thing doesn't twist around when we're trying to tighten the bolts, we're going to add some blocks holding down the bolt holder, if that makes sense, like basically the bolt assembly, because that's the only part that's not symmetrical and cylindrical on this specific pressure pot and similar to Harbor Freights. So we'll get into drilling the hole and tracing and cutting and all that stuff right now. Alright everyone, so tracing the circle is obviously super simple. And with these models, similar to the Harbor Freight, there's actually a bulge, or a slight bulge from this bottom piece of metal. So tracing this off of this is gonna be perfect because the rest will just slide in. There might be a little bit of play, but we're gonna get rid of that with the blocks we do at the end. So now we can remove this guy. We can drill our hole. We got it all the way through though, that's what matters. So you guys can see that line, it's just pencil, so it's not the darkest. But now we'll get to cutting this really quick. And it doesn't need to be perfect, like I doubt I'll be able to make this perfect, but we'll try. So now we got our hole. It's pretty good actually. I don't know if you guys can see this slight mess up, probably not from that angle, where I accidentally traced it a little out too far, but that doesn't matter since the majority is perfect. It should be fine. So I'll give you guys a different angle for putting in the pot really quick. All right everyone, so now we're just gonna drop this guy in. Like so. And we'll remove the lid for now to show you guys. And basically, you could leave this as is right now. Super simple, you just cut a hole. But see how this moves very easily. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna position these bolts where I think they're gonna get in my way the least, right? Which will be probably about here, because I still need to get back here to open up my insulated sound chamber for my air compressor. And then this also gives me more room here. So we'll get to the blocks right now. All right, so what we just did is we just went over to the bandsaw and just cut some scrap blocks like this from a 2x4. You know, they can be smaller if you want, they can be thicker. Essentially, they need to be wide enough and long enough to hold 2 screws without cracking, and we're gonna hopefully not make that happen. So because of the location of this guy, well, first let me say you only need 4, right? Because you need 2 on each side of each opposite bolt assembly, because that's going to keep it from moving when you want to tighten it, which would push it this way, and when you want to loosen it, which would push it the other way. So I'm going to put them here and here because that will get in the way the least, in my opinion. I could go the opposite way, but either or. So we're going to drill some holes and we're going to get to that right now. So obviously you want to be putting 2 screws into each block. I know the angle isn't the best on this one. It will hopefully be a little better on that one, and I can zoom in more on that one for you guys. This was kind of the best angle to show you guys still the whole picture too. Alright, that is nice and snug. We'll do this one really quick. You want to make sure it gets really tight, right? Because we don't want it moving. Perfect. All right. We'll change the angle for you guys on the next one. Alrighty everyone, so now we're just gonna do this side, same as the other. We split that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm tempted to just leave it because it's actually still really in place and the split went towards it. So we'll tighten down the next one. We'll see if we need to just cut another one real quick or not. That's a little too close. I think I'm just gonna replace it just for, honestly, optics, just so it doesn't look bad, even though it'll be fine. So I'm gonna replace this really quick, and I'll be right back. Scrappy. Yep, that works just fine. So put on the lid and I'll show you guys. So basically, that's it. I can tighten this guy down as hard as I can, you know, and then do it on all 4 sides and not have it worry about twisting all on me. And I can untwist them and loosen it as well. And it's no problem. Alright everyone, well I really hope you enjoyed this short little quick tip video. I plan on making a few more of these similar type videos related to resin casting if you guys are interested. For example, I was thinking of making a quick and simple video on how I make my mold racks. It's pretty simple, but I feel like I've done it so many times that it's easy for me to do, but it definitely took me, an hour or two of thinking before I made it, and I can save you guys some times with measurements and things like that. So let me know down below in the comment section if that sounds like it would be a good video, and maybe some suggestions would be nice to hear as well. Next up, I have a video on making gold leaf pen blanks, silver leaf pen blanks, and gold, silver, and copper leaf all together pen blanks. So look forward to that video. That should be coming up pretty soon, and it's going to be really cool. I've already made quite a few things with those leaves, and it's pretty cool. So like the video if you guys liked it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment down below what you guys thought. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.